My name's Klink, and I just graduated in the Bachelor's of Science in Sustainable Food Systems, and my senior project was creating the Cholla Community Garden. I started off doing this project like 2 years ago when I would go over to the Cholla housing and hang out with my friends, and I'm like, what is this front yard space? It was super empty and abandoned. I had no idea what was going on, but I noticed that there were grapevines growing on the side, and I thought that was peculiar. Someone must have taken care of it at some point, but now it was just left alone. And I thought that could be a really good opportunity to work on. And I kind of like left that idea alone for a while, but it came around for me to think about my senior project, and I didn't have much of an idea so far, and I was getting super stressed out and worried about it. And then I thought back to the space, and I'm like, hey, this is a great place and time to actually work with this and see what I can do. And with my sustainable food systems degree, it really came to life and actually turned into a really awesome space. It ended up being awesome, and my hope is students continue to use it and want to use it this summer and the next fall and keep stewarding it. I know the Sustainability Center, they have eyes on it too, which makes me happy that other people are constantly keeping care of it. My first step was seeing how do I even start working in here, who do I get permission from? And I found out that through the housing director at the time, he was the one in charge. So I asked him, told him about the idea. And at first I was gonna think of just doing like some agroforestry, nothing big, just to clean up the front yard. But once I was over there, a personal garden is not have anything to do with the community. It's not what Prescott College is all about, so I need to make this more. And Eleanor Tyson, my professor at the time, is super into the whole community idea. So that's when we thought up together about incorporating students. So once I got permission to work on the space, I did a lot of clearing out that initial fall, and then started doing a bunch of planning and designing. And I think what really infrastructurally brought it to life was the fact that the Sustainability Council, I brought my idea to them, and they supported nearly $2,500 worth of funding towards the fencing and all the raised beds. So without that, it would totally look a lot different. But I got them involved, and over the course of that winter, I got students to consult with me about what it was even gonna look like once we built the whole thing in the coming spring. So the spring came around, we got materials, we built it. I had a lot of help from my friends, my family, and a lot of the work study students at the time. And that summer we started a big demonstrative garden for the students in the fall to see, so they knew that this space was even a thing, because the year previous it basically didn't exist at all. So I had a lot of people coming in to see what was up, to get even more people involved, because that following fall I was going to be leaving. But at that point, it was all set up. So what kind of started as a really small, iffy idea actually ended up being well beyond my lifespan at the college. So I'm really happy about that. The impacts, I've definitely seen a lot more students interested in fresh food and interested in their environment and taking more notice about things that can grow here, because people instantly think the desert, or they come from a city and it's just not on people's minds. But I really owe it to Eleanor, because I think she's doing a great job with the education bit, and bringing students into that garden to teach is really important. So I've seen a lot of new environmental education sprout from that, and some students picking up, their own initiatives. Mostly it's to ensure that green space is for people, especially when you're in a tight-knit space. Yeah, community gardens are just something I want to see happen, not just in Prescott, but like anywhere in the US. A lot of like urban and rural students, I think, don't have as much encouragement these days about working with soil. And that's really what I want to encourage by these spaces. So moving on with my work forward, that's what I'll be doing. Yeah.